Back, I'm Gerty rude, back again, that Tuesday mood. Well, here I am, viewers, wherever you are in the world. It's me, it's your old Gert, I'm back. I thought today, as they're going to point out in a minute, it is 3 years since the great late Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, a late great Queen's husband, passed away. I cried like a bitch. I must admit, cried like a bitch. I did actually name one of my sons, one of my many sons, after Prince Philip, because I like my sons. All of them have got very manly names, you know. And you can't get a lot more manly than the Prince of Philippus, can you? So there you go. Shall we jump in and see what's going on? Because I think you'll find that the Marquis involved somewhere along. I mean, she usually is, isn't she? So let's go. Come on, Eamon, darling. Oh, I love seeing Eamon. I love Eamon.
He was 99 years
I love that other
He
girl.
died at Windsor Castle, and he was the longest-serving royal consort in history.
Cried like a bitch.
Joining us now to talk about his life and legacy is the editor-in-chief of
there you go, put it out there.
Magazine and the royal biographer Ingrid Stewart. Good morning to you. Lovely to have you on.
I was so shocked, even though he was 99. Yeah, I don't know why I was shocked, actually, to come to think of it, because when you think of it, Gert, he was 99. But for some reason, you just think people like that are like invincible or something, and they're like just going to go on forever. Because ever since me, I can't talk about you, viewers, but ever since I've inhabited this planet, there's been a Prince Philip. I mean, what do we do without Prince Philip? So 3 years we struggled by, haven't we? And the poor old Queen, she didn't last a lot longer, did she, bless her? So let's see what Ingrid's going to say. I love Ingrid. Come on, Ingrid. Give us the dirt.
It still turns me
want the dirt? Come on, Ingrid.
Remembering that moment that I found out Operation Fourth Bridge was coming into play. That was to say that all the plans of the broadcasters and indeed the civil servants and the royal family...
because the Queen was Operation London Bridge. And Prince Philip was Operation, because of Edinburgh, I suppose he was Fourth Bridge. Something like that. I mean, don't quote me on it, but yeah. It does sound sort of, plausible.
He's had in place was being enacted because Prince Philip
was terrible.
died, and it was the first major royal death that we had had in an incredibly long time. Do you remember where you were when you heard the news?
I remember exactly where I was.
I was actually in the market in Henley-on-Thames buying some apples. So not
well, lucky you, because I was elbows deep in the toilets outside the embankment. So there you go. But do you know what I mean? Horses for courses, Ingrid. Obviously, you're in the echelons. And, well, I was just down there in the underground bogs, love. Come on, darling.
Not in a very dramatic place.
I was, couldn't help myself.
I do remember the funeral very, very well. I think
I did get arrested once for cottaging. I actually had to prove that I was female. But, no, I did have rubber gloves. But apparently that didn't really, it didn't... helped me very much, and it didn't serve as evidence, but apparently it's all right. I paid the fine, I'm out now, so do you know what I mean? I've moved on. So there we go.
We all do, because it was so poignant, and I think it was the
poignant. I was shocked.
Followed our government's COVID restrictions, so it
that
was very,
could have
very
been
pared down. And also, just to let Eamon know, he was Lord High Admiral Prince Philip.
There we go. Thank you. Yeah.
Was Lord High Everything?
Lord High Admiral.
Hang on, he was Lord High Everything. He was the Prince of Greece. Wasn't he the only son of the third son of the King of Greece or something at one point, or something or other that happened? And his dad's brother was the King of Greece, but he had to abdicate. All sorts of machinations. And didn't he have to escape in a gunboat that Queen Elizabeth's granddad, George V, had to send a gunboat down to Corfu to save his mum? His mum was great. Look into his mother. His mum was a don. I'm telling you, she was a legend in her own lunchtime. She was a wonderful woman. And his dad, not so much. Do you get me, Capiche? Don't want to be rude. But his mum was definitely a living legend. And she's buried in the Mount of Olives. She's up there, righteous amongst the nations, I'll have you know. Yes, a hero of her era. 20th century. Was it 20th? Yeah, it must have been. Right, let's go.
And
there's the new Duke of Edinburgh. I get it. Now I know what I'm looking at. That's the new Duke of Edinburgh, isn't it? Formerly known as Prince Edward and the lovely Sophie. I love Sophie. I love her. Obviously, there was that incident. Got a bit out of control. Do you know what I mean? Restraining orders, one thing and another. And, well, I haven't seen her for, about 3 or 4 years. But, yes, if I do see her motorcade go by, I always wave my mop at her. Yes, I do. But apparently she says she always smells a faint whiff of urine, which I can assure you isn't coming from me, darlings. Let's go.
But he put that to one side, didn't he?
Well, he had to when the Queen's father became really ill.
Oh.
And he was on service.
Love the Queen. Love the Queen. Love the hat. Love the Queen. Love everything about that outfit. She looks like she's wearing pearls. Tick. She's got pearl earrings. Another tick. Beautiful. Love. Oh, I love it. Love it. Let's move back and have another shot of it. I think we should. Yes. I want to see more of the Queen.
Realise then that
I still miss her, don't you?
Going to be over, and that he really had to do what he was destined to do, which was support his wife, the Queen, as monarch.
Ingrid, tell me about. I mean, we talked about his military career there. So
that's another. Oh, hang on a minute. Let's go. Let's go.
Taking orders there.
Yes.
Did he take orders from the royal household, or did he make the orders?
He was the boss, mate.
Well,
he was the man.
Was Philip started to make the orders because he saw that the household was run in a very inefficient way, and he was extremely efficient.
And that's really weird, because if you know anything about Queen Victoria and Prince Albert, that was exactly what Prince Albert had when he married into the royal family. Married Queen Victoria. He had exactly the same. You can see the comparisons between. If you study that era or you're interested in it, you read the different books and accounts and everything, biographies, autobiographies, authorised, unauthorised, you have to cross-reference everything and then make your own mind up. But there definitely is a comparison to be made between the Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip of Greece, when he married the Queen in 1947, or was it 48? 47. Got engaged and married, whatever, can't remember, wasn't there? All right, I was. God, you lot, you're so mean. So anyway, and he had exactly the same problem as Prince Albert of Coburg. He had to come in and everybody, it's like, what is it, norming, storming, forming, isn't it? That sort of thing. There was a new boss in town, and the old guard in the palace were all set in their ways and didn't really want any new bucks telling them how to run the place and what to do. I mean, for instance, it was Prince Philip that put taps in and sewage outlets in and everything. There was none of that before. Apparently, they used to have one person would set the fire, because they didn't have central heating, obviously, capiche, Victorian times. And was it 1836 or something they got married? Anyway, might have been early, I'm not sure. So one person would set the fire, and then they'd have to wait hours and hours for the person to come on duty, the servant to come on duty, who lit the fire. And then you'd have another person that would come around and stoke the fire, and they didn't correspond. So the poor old Queen and Albert are always bloody freezing, as you can imagine. Yes! And of course, in the Victorian times, they did have really, really bad winters, as depicted in all the novels of Thomas Hardy and people like Charles Dickens. Do you get me, capiche? Anyway, let's go.
Man, and he wanted things to run really
I think it was a mini ice age, to be fair.
He became a little bit unpopular because he started making quite sweeping changes. Within the royal household,
Albert did that.
To make it more efficient.
Why am I talking to you?
And it wasn't always.
I love that photo.
With the sort of
I love it.
Old established.
I love the Queen. I miss you. Come back. Just come back.
Story
Stop.
between the pair, though.
I don't like the way they pretended to be dead. They're not dead. Come back. We need you now more than ever, please. Just come back. I'm crying now. Stop.
I think the Queen Elizabeth II was madly in love with him.
Yes.
And I suppose
he's
what
a
they had
hunk.
in common, apart from sort of both being
Yes.
aristocratic and royal, was a love of the country.
Shall I tell you a little anecdote that I've garnered over my many years on this planet? And I'm a bit of a book collector, and I especially I don't read novels, let's put it that way, unless they're classics, I don't bother. Do you know what I mean, capiche? And I did garner a really good anecdote that he used to step out with a number of people, because she was a busy lady and this, that and the other. She had her stuff to do. He had his stuff to do. Not everybody understands those sort of marriages, yeah? But he was seen out with actresses like Merle Oberon, people like that. And they used to go to these exclusive clubs, one thing and another. And people tittle-tattled. Whether it was true, none of us were there. All right, okay, I was looking through the bloody keyhole. You lot, you're so mean to me. And anyway, it came out that he may or may not have been tattling away from home. And they broke it to the Queen. And they said to the Queen, do you know, bloody, bloody, blah, your husband is sort of being seen out with men and women of an exclusive variety, and varying men's clubs, this, that and the other, nightclubs, exclusive, of course, all of them. And we're a bit worried. And she said, well, the thing about Prince Philip is he does take a lot of entertaining. And I always thought that was a very succinct way of putting her courtiers right back in their bloody boxes. Because their marriage was their marriage. It was their bloody business, wasn't it? Do you get me, capiche? Anyway, let's go on.
Shared love of the country.
I think what they really had in common was this amazing sense of duty.
Yeah.
And Philip always said, my duty is to support
my
wife.
He did. But he also had the right to his own little
woo. He never wavered.
Love the hat.
From whatever else.
Oh, I want to go back to the hat. Stop. Let me look at the hat. Oh, no, not that hat. The yellow hat. Let's have a look at... Oh, I love that. Do you love that? I love that hat. Do you know what? The Queen could literally wear any colour, couldn't she? And I don't know whether she actually wore designer clothes per se. I think all her stuff are couture. In other words, made for her, weren't they? So, yeah, she wasn't really flogging a fashion house, but she always looked $1 million bloody dollars. And whatever she wore, she usually used to set the trend right through her life. Yes, especially when you look at her in the 50s. Oh, she was a smart woman. So was Margaret. She was smart as well. Very smart. Let's go.
And that's the position. He never wavered from whatever else he did. He was always supporting.
Let's get on to the marklets now. Come on.
And I think that
marklets.
Big sense of duty.
Sorry.
Was, when her father died suddenly.
I like that outfit as well. Do you like that outfit? Lovely, lovely. She suits red. Yes, I think she was wearing it in honour of your Gertrudis, you know. I'm sure she was. Or was I copying her? Oh, I think it was me copying her, to be fair. Let's go.
In 1952, she was propelled into...
Oh, gold, oh, gold, oh, gold. Da-da, da-da, da-da. Coming up behind you. On the right, my darling. Da-da-da-da. Where's security? Security, come on. I want security. Let's go.
For at least
we need bloody security
years.
From them lot.
So Philip had to take over the running of the household.
Oh, that was when she wore that infamous poop image. Do you remember? Let's have a look. Oh, it is. Hello. Hello. I'm shitted.
100% agreed with it.
Hello.
And then he got on with it.
Make of his relationship or how he viewed Meghan Markle.
I am actually going to get put away one of these days. I could just see people coming round in dodgy jackets and lugging me off somewhere. Anyway, we're up to the marklet. Come on, dear. What's she done now?
I think Prince Philip was very canny about people.
Yeah. But of course he would. He's 90 metal.
He tried to see good in them, but...
Yeah, no, he didn't.
He just couldn't get away from the fact of the similarities between Meghan and Harry and Edward and Mrs. Simpson.
Actually, no similarities, but go on.
There are so many similarities there, which is why he used
actually, for all her sins, Mrs. Simpson, she didn't flap her bleeding gums, did she? And she didn't go flapping herself all over the place and doing podcasts, interviews, documentaries, this, that, and the bleeding other. And even when she did write a book, I've got it, it's the most boring bloody book. You buy it, well, I think I might have got it from a charity shop, like, decades ago. And I thought, dirt, come on, Gert, get in and get the dirt. There was literally no dirt in there. It was really, really quite anodyne. Anyway, never mind, let's go on.
For her, the Duchess of Windsor.
Right.
I mean, not to her face, obviously. We used to call her Dow, D-O-W.
Oh.
What about the relationship that was sometimes fraught, especially in the early years,
right.
with our now king? What do you think Prince Philip, given what you know of him and you've written books about him, would make about King Charles's reign so far? And I suppose the challenges that the royal family are now facing.
I'm not being funny, that's a stupid bloody question. So what you're positing is the fact that if our now king's dad, who was his dad, doesn't matter what his job was, he was his dad, was alive, what would he think about Charles having his new reign and now he's got cancer and one thing and another? I'm sure he'd be bloody gutted. To be fair, you got a kid, doesn't matter how old the kid is or how old you are, it's your kid, they're ill, you'd be gutted. God, stupid question. Come on, let's get to the gristle. We want some gristle.
Do you think
stupid
you
questions.
agree with this slim
Come on, let's have the mark clip.
Given, their health and apparent frailty at the moment?
I think he would totally agree with the slim down monarchy. And
I like Camilla. Can you see her peeping over the shoulder there? Come on, Cammy.
Very, very proud
there she is.
Of his son. He wasn't always
there she is.
proud of his son.
Oh, I love it. I love that.
He was a very
tough
father.
Love that outfit.
They didn't get along in the early years. obviously they did later. But I think he would be really proud of the way that Charles has sort of immediately implemented what he said he was going to do. He said he wanted a slimmed down monarchy, and that's what he's organised. That's what he's now got. It is a little bit too slimmed down at the moment, perhaps. But
no.
Well,
anything more about the Mark clip?
Today on this April the 9th, the 3rd.
Oh, well, that's that. No more about the Mark clip. But we did get treated to her in a Pooh Image hat. The world famous, or should I say infamous, Pooh Image hat. Yes, I'm sure we all use it all the time now, don't we, darlings, on our mobile phones and our Apple iPhones, whatever. Anyway, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Don't let the buggers get you down. Smile and the world smiles with you. Those are the wrong lyrics, but whatever. Anyway, bye-bye now. Love you all.